Alright, what's up yins guys? Before I start this video too and start talking about the subject matter, I think a couple of the yins guys that watch me because of this topic that if you didn't, you might want to check out a video I posted. I think I can put a link to it. That I don't know if you can give me a comment if you know that any of you guys that also do videos like this, if this happens to you. I recorded it. Every time I do a video, damn near every time, with anything that sounds like somebody, like especially the gang stalking thing, and I have slightly different takes on it. It's not a cookie cutter take like anybody else, and I do talk about shit that people might be missing, I don't know. But when I post a video, does this happen to you where you try to post it, it goes like, you get this error message that, oh, this can't be posted for any other there has been an error or some kind of thing. I posted a video to prove it. It got small amount of views, and I know those views were like that amount of views I could tell right away, even though you didn't comment. A couple of you guys I know who say if it's like 4 views, I know 4 of you who commented on me before probably saw it. But tell me in comment, or any of you guys that tuned in on a video that has done videos or believe about this. So I was trying to prove that somebody up there is trying to censor you, so I literally had to change the title for a while, post it, then change, do a bunch of shit like that, and I'm surprised that they don't got it fully blocked. I'm able to fix the video, change the title, take the word gang stalking out of it, post it, and then put the word back in after, edit it, right, put the word back in the title. So far that's worked, you know what I mean? But if that shit keeps happening, I might have to have some of you guys watch me and just watch the topics on other shit I'm doing. And even though there's a method to my madness, I'll go on and on about a particular topic. But yes, it can be lengthy and a half-hour long, but I do it on purpose because I don't give a fuck sometimes if it gets a larger amount of views. But I know certain people that know me specifically pretty well, I make these videos for. I titled this, and there's a message where, you know how you can title it something else and not mislead, but say something to slip it in, something in there to get a dig in about something, even though you're talking primarily about something else. Anyway, I just figured I'd slip that in, but yeah, okay, now on the subject matter at hand, I want to talk about, first of all, this is a subject matter, say, this is not intended to be any offense, or I'm not intending to blast or bash anybody to, hey, you smoke a joint once in a while, you smoke cigarettes or whatever. But I've been seeing on the news, I'm going to do a video really soon about that vaping has been putting people in the hospital and been killing them. But that's another topic. But yeah, if you smoke a joint once in a while, or if you're anything, you're licensed because your doctor said so, you can have it, or you drink a little bit, if you're moderate, or certain people, that's not about you, you know, to get all pissed off. And matter of fact, this subject matter, maybe you can be, people can be, say you're watching this and maybe you smoke a joint once in a while, say you don't go with this clique and you all don't smoke or drink enough or whatever to suit these certain people. You can be a person telling people privately that, yeah, you get harassed this way, or people play these fucking games, you know, whatever. Better, yeah, you may want to do like the George Thorogood song, I Drink Alone. Yeah, but yeah, that's not the point. But I talk to you about shit that happens in certain workplaces that happens every once in a while, nobody talks about. And I do these jobs that's like an agency, and like I said before, you get more an hour for them. If you got them every single day, you'd like make pretty damn good money, but there's lesser takers. And I just save the money, you know, I know that. That's why I don't have any habits, because things bottom out. I could, like, you know, buy myself a Bluetooth speaker. Me and the girlfriend celebrate our relationship anniversary. We go all out and buy a whole stromboli of pizza from our local pizza place and spend like freaking $60, shit like that. I consider this, I don't think I'm better than you, I just call this getting over. You don't got any habits that, you know, you have to have all this beer and all these cigarettes. The way I mentioned in a couple of my videos on a topic, the way my mother was. Yeah, you're not allowed, back when you used to live at home. Oh yeah, you're not allowed to buy these CDs, buy this or that, or different things. You know, it's a waste of money. Eating out is a waste of money, but tell you they buy 5 cartons of cigarettes, you know, right off the top when your stepdad's Social Security check. But oh, don't dare talk about that. They get all pissed off, you know. But not to go on and about that. But anyway, in jobs like this, particular agency, it's a good line of work. You know, you get a different adventure, many different stuff on your resume. But sometimes you'll get these agencies that, not a bad thing, but you get a lot of them, people you'll be next to, which are nice people. Until you even find out they mention it, they're nice people, and you're amazed. Wow, they used to be an addict or something on the other. You run into those all the time. And occasionally you get ones like when you work in, when you get sent to a stadium and all that, we have little policies among each other. You'd have somebody that doesn't want to work and they're way off this way, and they're talking to themselves real loud. They have a mental problem. But you get some people, whether some are good, they're not all bad, some are good people. You're starting all over, but that they were once in rehab or whatever, and are in jail here and there. But then you're fine. But then you also get ones out there with attitudes, right? That they sneak and do their drugs now and then, or drink now and then, and they were only in the program because they're forced to, and they sneak and drink or sneak and do a certain drug, and yeah, they get put in something, whatever the hell. And this dovetails into what I was watching. That guy, one guy, kind of a little bit of a larger, stockier guy, beard, and he says how these gang stalkers were actually once everybody from rehab to people that were jail once, and they do shit, become informants to get something off of their record, get a break. But it's that, it's not just that. There's ones out there that I'm talking about that are a little bit that, but also are jealous because they're a clique that thinks the, I always said, you know, crisscross, it's all not just the law of the land. It ain't just the community-oriented community like police state thingy. It's a little bit of both. You get the extreme culture on both sides, and then people like me, you're damned either way. You try more bees with honey than vinegar. You try to be nice. Hey, you're nice to me, I'm nice to you. Don't force your shit down my throat. Did in some cases you can be harassed, you know, they accuse you of being in the police, you know, whatever. But yeah, there's some, like that guy said, that are like that. But my video is more leaned on the ones that are a little bit like that, but they're like jealous because they're the clique that they think that everybody oppressed them, and they think that if you don't have no habits, or even though you don't smoke and drink enough, that you think you're better than they are, and will actually be nice to you at first and try to say passive aggressive shit to start fights with you, or like say shit to try to make you react and make you all since they're what do you call it, some of them are triggered, like they may be mixed with a little bit of social justice warrior, but there are some of them, they have therapists, and yeah, they're all together, and anybody else is just selfish and then think they're better. They think that you think you're better than they are. They're nice to your face, but they think that you think you're better than they are, right? And they'll say little passive aggressive things, like they eventually, you know, they're real nice, but they cry a little bit because you don't talk about some of the same stuff they do, and they complain. Some of them complain. I see ones on documentaries on TV that are working with dogs. They found an itch. That's fine. God bless them. But how society shuns them. But oh, don't you ever dare suggest that you got some out there that have like a gang stalker mentality for whatever reason, and they're prejudiced, and because they have an us against them mentality because they've been in and out of jail. You get some. Okay, there's some just like that guy. I'll find him. I just watch so many of videos. Like that guy with the beard says. Some of them I want to say too. Yeah, they get off on their sentences or whatever. They get a little reduction off on it. They report it. It ain't always that they're out to get you. There are some of them determined to stay away to kind of keep a fair distance or whatever, and they might roll on somebody else because that they generally are worried that they don't want to be back in that system again or whatever too. They're getting a little tired of it, but yet some of them may be a little, but yet they can be a little bit cantankerous because they maybe can't do any of that. Oh, and if you did hardly any or less in your life, that, and if you appear in, oh, and that's what I'm saying too. You can even unwittingly appear to them too proud of yourself about it. And I myself, I'm not being an asshole about it either, but you walk around too proudly, but you could do it. You can, yes, you can do it just to be an asshole. And there's an element where you're not allowed to be empowered, whether you're a girl watching, say you were a girl and you're with all these other girls once in a while in a workplace that used to be in rehab, and they may be trying to put things in your head and say, oh yeah, you and me are just alike, you have low self-esteem just like me, and then you'd be like, what? Yeah, I had that, people trying to say that too, you know what I mean? But you'll get a person like that that's they have a clique, you know, I mean, you'll be in these job assignments or even in a job that you just got into, you have this clique, and a lot of them look like normal people, but they've been in and out of jail or whatever, and they can be the aging addict, like party crowd, that they're not really sorry for being a partier and the fun they had, even though it's not reality. They had to come to terms that it's not reality, you know what I mean? There was some happiness obtained from it, but yet it brought them a lot of trouble, and it's really the one police state that they don't like it. You're literally pressured to have opinions or something. Like, for example, I had one particular place I was in, you know what I mean? One particular woman that was like that, and this is what you got to watch out for. Really nice to you first. Oh, good morning. Oh, how are you? You know, all great. And then everybody is actually nice, but there may be a shit starter here and there, right? But and this person, especially if you're a girl watching, and there's a lot of good amount of women, right? But you can be a guy in this. There's a clique of guys. You can be a guy around here. There's a clique of so many women that are in here, and so many guys or whatever that both, you know, here and there. They all have different attitudes, you know what I mean? But this particular woman is like, and when I say how women in a clique will do this, leader of the clique, as opposed to guys that are the alpha, as opposed to guys who are the alpha and the smart one of the clique. The woman in particular, not to discriminate or single out the woman, or single out either. A woman, if any of you girls watching, you know what I mean, and say you're into all kind of things like fitness, make fitness videos, and maybe you work next to somebody that's, oh, in a clique like this, how girls will play with other girls' heads like this too, you know, try to make you feel like there's something wrong with you. You're doing all that exercise. What do you think you are, you know? But anyway, you know, a leader of a clique like this in a scenario that the woman is an alpha, they have a tendency that a certain clique all likes them. They're the darling, unlike the male alpha part of it, that some of them different kind of talk that they are. It could be locker room talk. I'm gonna go get wasted talk or the bar talk. A woman is different, unlike the alpha of the group and the male side. The female side, it could be trouble for either you as a male watching or as a female, because you get not, don't get me wrong, on all walks of life there's a women in a clique, the gossips, different weight classes that are holding court. Remember, there used to be a particular group back out when I lived across the street from a restaurant. I worked a whole bunch of hours a day, long hair or whatever. I'm always buying, sitting in a restaurant, you get a few of them, just, oh yeah, what is he, this or that, and then you're friends with a couple of them, but then a couple of them still looking for wrong in you, they're nice to your face but saying stuff. But anyway, the woman in there has a tendency, as the alpha of the group, to be the darling. They're not just the alpha of the group like the males are. They're like the darling of the group. Everybody likes them. And whether there's drugs or drinking culture involved or not, or you can be a professional wearer in a professional clothing as a woman or a guy, and you'd have to watch out for this, because it can be a good thing or a bad. Because you get in a workplace or somewhere that's a certain clique, you got one chick that's like how girls are with you, they're the darling of the group or whatever. If they're good people with good intentions, man, yeah, it can make the job, it can be great. Or if you got one, the darling of the group, that all of a sudden is all nice, oh hi, good morning, and they find out something about you that they think that you think you're better than they are, just because they're the darling of the group, they'll try to say shit in front of their friends or start shit like discreetly, passive aggressively, and you can only hope to your advantage that they're arrogant enough to do it in front of their friends, you know what I mean, too. And the reason why they do it in front of their friends, if you got this far in the video, it dovetails it can turn into the video I made about, oh, we're your buddies, we'll stand by you, you know what I mean? But when I made that video, there was one commenter on there, it's like, he said, oh, don't fall for that, they're just playing you. That's a totally opposite subject matter. I don't think he looked at the video, but I wanted to do a video on that. I wasn't talking about that. If you tuned in again, I was talking about what this can turn into, that people make lies about you, then you disprove them, right? And they're like, oh, they got a clique where, oh, we're your buddies, we'll stand, your enemies, the people that become your enemies, right? They'll go, oh, we're your buddies, we'll stand by you, oh, we'll believe this anyway, like it's a religion, Well, anyway, these people can turn into that. So, for example, like this particular, I had a couple instances like this. One I will talk about that, oh, everything's cool, I'm jumping, doing my duties, throwing away garbage, helping this person get more material, like the flats of boxes everybody puts together, bouncing this one like the boss says, So everybody is friendly, right? And this woman, she's like, they start out like they think you're really cool. They like you. It's not you talking to death. They're talk, which is a great thing. You're getting along. But then all of a sudden, I guess they look like they actually think you're pretty cool or whatever. And then all of a sudden, you don't talk about, there's certain things that you find out you don't talk. They find out that you're not bringing up or talking about. So out of nowhere, this woman asks me in conversation, things got quiet because of work, people doing this, and it becomes subject of the stuff we're doing. But so somehow in between the subjects of whatever the stuff is, the product cardboard boxes, she pops some question and like says, and it doesn't make no sense. They just ask you out of nowhere, oh yeah, what were you in, AA, NA? And I go, no, I can't say that I ever was, no. And then she has this really crocodile smile. It's not just, she's saying, good for you. But she's not doing it in a, like the ones that are slightly older than you too do it, in a good way. She goes out of her way to be a very big crocodile smile, almost like a sneer, and goes, like, she's good for you, like a sarcastic, with their head, almost like that. It's like a crocodile smile, but it's like real sarcastic, and it's almost like like that. And then nothing else is said, and then out of nowhere, she goes, "Oh, can you get me some more of this stuff?" She goes this a couple times, that I'm almost running out. "You can do that, can't you?" And she's like, really belittling a couple of times. And this is, if you got this far in this video, my point of this video is what not to do. Your first instinct in a situation like this would be, man, what the fuck's wrong with you? Well, like if you're around some of your friends, on and off, it's like, what the fuck is your problem? That's what you do not want to do. You're better off like either not saying nothing, or you just go, uh-huh. I'd be like, uh-huh. I'm like, whoa, okay. I go, well, okay, yeah, I'll do that anyway, absolutely. And my luck too, the boss happened to just come right by. And I remember what the boss always told me. He had a rule too. If the empty boxes you're supposed to fold and get rid of are piling up, or these other guys are opening up material, you got to stop what you're doing. Go right over here and get these, right? So the boss comes and says, and he's walking by, and right after this, what I did, instead of going, what the fuck's wrong with you? I go, hey, so-and-so, yeah, I need some of this. What I do is, can I get maybe a little bit for her real quick? I know that when the pile is getting over here, right, that I'm supposed to do this. So I basically did a thing where indicating, well, I'm doing her a favor. What I could have did was, the boss is over here. I'll go and say, I could have went in front of the boss and said, yeah, the boss over here says I got to take this pile, so I'm going to do that to get mad and get even. But at the same time, since I don't hate the person, I really was like, what the fuck? Why you want to be like that? And part of you is almost like, oh shit, they're one of them prejudice types that you're not like one of them or something. And because of the nature of the way she did that, I'm like, oh man, I'm actually thinking, I thought she was pretty cool. What? Oh no, don't tell me she's one of those. And so I go to the boss, like I did her a favor by saying to the boss, I says, yeah, she needs a little bit. I'll get this for her, right? Smiling, and I say, can I do this like a little bit? And then I know I got to go to do this, and then I got to, because I'm bam, bam, bam doing all the stuff anyway, like the nature of the work, multitasking. So he goes, okay, yeah. And then some of the other women around there see this, and keep in mind, some of these women were basically okay friends with me and all that. I still run into them some places, like outside of there. Oh, hi, how you doing? And there was no apparent real big danger of what I'm trying to tell you to watch out for in this, because thankfully, some of the people will have their own minds, but I'm trying to say that there's a scenario that you can have some of them that are, some of the others that are friends with you, right? They won't outright tell her off and stick up for you. You don't expect them to. But yet, you will notice in a situation like this that some of these people will still be friends with you. It happens in front of them. And when people pull this shit, they're expecting the friends to stand by them. Say if you went all ballistic and said, "Oh, whoa, what the fuck's wrong with you? And what the fuck's with the attitude?" And that triggers. Oh, anyway, if you're a guy that's married or had a girlfriend for a long time, if you really wanted to deliberately set the woman off, and there's some women maybe in other relationships that'll, and to be fair, maybe some girl watching that's a boyfriend looking for reasons to get set off, that's what the fuck you gotta watch out for. So anyway, in a situation like this, there's people that will be friends with you a lot of times. You get the scenario that they're not gonna volunteer anything against you. They're not, but you notice they stay friends with you, and you don't get dirty looks from them all. But yet they are making sure they're not to offend. They don't want to offend this person that was starting with that. they kind of stay silent. They still talking to you nice. You'll get some that'll give you dirty looks. But if you were to react, that's what they want. If you're to react the way they expect you to react, then all these people, boom, ready to turn against you. Then it will turn into, oh yeah, darling of the darling of the clique there. We'll stand by you because they were all knew each other longer than you and all that. But as long as you act smart, if you're a girl or a guy with this problem, because if you're a girl watching this can be almost an older adult version of the mean girl shit that I've been seeing on the TV news, you know. Before there was internet bullying, it was bullying in school, the mean girls thing. If you got this far in this video, it could be that. You could be a girl watching. And like in my videos, I'm almost about not enough people watch my videos. I think they deliberately try to block people from watching them. And YouTube tries to get lesser views, but I'm indicating women watching empowerment, how some of these cliques don't want empowerment. Not only the women in the cliques, some of them don't want it. They're jealous of it. They'll pull these games that I'm talking about on you because of it, because they think you're better and you want to do exercise videos, empower yourself. But the people that want to be the political daddies and mommies of them, you know, the handicapper generals that want to get elected to make them all victims. You don't want to make them all into lowlifes either, but you don't want to make them the victims. They want to discourage that, like, that, you know, you might want to check out my videos, what I'm indicating about what kills female empowerment as a female, even though I'm seeing an observance. I'm not saying I know anything about certain females, but I know something about observance, simply because of whether you're a dude or a chick, you know, what role models you want to take on, like, you know, that you want to deify or up there. And if you get any of this out of law, whether you're a dude or chick watching, say you had some of these people next to you, or say you were in some trouble once, you did a little bit of this or that, and you don't do it anymore. Whether you do or don't, do not let, I don't care if it's friends from some damn rehab or whatever, that, you know, the wrong clique, you have to gotta do not allow these people to try to shame you out of something you want to do, to try to act like, you know, all of a sudden they might be your friends and act like, start shit with you and all that. All of a sudden, and you know, they won't do it outright, but they're jealous all of a sudden you're doing something to empower yourself, and your conversations might be changing or something like that, and be jealous. So you gotta watch, no matter what walk of life, you don't let people drag you down. But I mean, this fits a scenario whether you were into that or you weren't. And I have a tendency to be, well, I had a damn cousin, like, as it was in and out of jail, all this. I had cousins that were in and out of jail, all this different stuff, drugs, that was the spoiled, cute one back when we were school kids age, that grandparents got him everything. He was the cute school kid. He got older, went to parties, all the girls digged him and everything else, were into him. But that led to partying, drinking, and everything else. And no matter what trouble they got into in that kind of crowd, you know, there's a don't tell crowd. If you're the cute one, oh man, they try to, everybody is coming by your side, and they'll even try to get you out of it. And then even when you go to jail, they know you did it, they'll try to get you out of jail, rally to get you out of jail. But then if you were somebody that, like, your hair is a little longer, you're not the, you're a dude or somebody, your hair is a little longer, you got a slightly big nose or whatever, you're not a cute one. Petty shit, man, they'll try to say, oh, you're into drugs. You get jealous family members somewhere, they'll be nice to your face and maybe even see you once in a while, even though you're a grown person, you're a grown dude or chick. They haven't seen you in a while and they're throwing money right at you as if you were like a child. Oh, you sure? I don't want the, you know. Then, whether I think it's for your own good or whatever, they're behind your back, acting like they're actually jealous of you and they're trying to, they might be behind some bullshit where maybe trying to get you in trouble with police or any kind of thing, or you find out that they're saying kind of stuff that they can't prove or whatever. They want to get information on you, your own relatives, because they're jealous because, for example, they could be jealous that your mother's kid didn't turn out like their kid. They'll be nice to your face, and some of you people in families might get that shit. You know, that's how that goes. So, not to tell your life story, but yeah, you get these, I'm trying to say, two different type of cultures. There's the extreme police culture that's really doing sweeps everywhere. Then you get the other extreme culture that they have their little stalkers or police that they're not always working for the police. They're going and telling some other person in a clique, and in some more dangerous area it could be the drug daddy they worship or whatever too. And they're all offended because, oh yeah, you don't, they find they're all friendly to you at first. They could be neighbors or work co-workers. They become all offended. Oh, you don't drink, you don't party, you don't do this. And all of a sudden, you can have mysterious harassment. And be careful, people might mysteriously try to, like, you know, you never know, even like rob you or something. Some people not totally directly affiliated with you out of nowhere might try to, you know, take your purse and rob you, or go into your place and steal from you because they think they're entitled. And oh, you have all this, you think you're better. That equality extremist mentality. So you'll have some of them people, and then you'll have the people on the other side, a little mixture of both, you know what I mean? So everything, it's like there's like a mixed culture. It like crosses each other's paths. It's not just one anymore, you know what I mean, too. People play their damn games. Like, you could be in a workplace, you're supposed to just do work and you're cordial. You don't care what anybody is. You don't care if they were in rehab or are now. You don't care if they're in their own life gay or whatever, or you don't give a shit that. You could be in somewhere where you're being friendly with everybody, and then all of a sudden a clique can turn on you because you're supposed to do your work, but then people could be pressing for political or racial or other kind of opinions, you know what I mean? Because you'll have, like I said, there's some of these workplaces that nice people, a lot of them are nice people, but yeah, they different attitudes. Being in a rehab, and maybe certain agencies are easier for them to get into. So you might run into have a job assignment where a good many of them people next to you are in there, and they go there regularly. And then all of a sudden, when you get little games being played like that, all of a sudden in the agency, when they play their games, you can bet they'll be all complaining to the boss some kind of things about you or whatever too. Or because that crowd says so, more of them says so, they can say, oh, I want him back, you know, if work spikes again. Or they can say, I don't want that person back. You didn't even do shit to him, you know what I mean? Yeah, again, you'll get one like too that every once in a while you get one that's like a goofy one out there that's more like in the office that only comes to do the extra work once in a while. You know somebody was saying shit to them because they come up to you out of nowhere and says, I heard you're talking about me. You better stop it. I'm like, and they do it in front of everybody because they think everybody approves their behavior. And then like, and I go, what are you talking about? What was I supposedly saying? And then they don't answer you. If they actually had any valid claim, they would answer you exactly what it is you said, because you would want to know. And they just get madder, and you go, oh. And then, yeah, you get, thank goodness you get some people that next to you too that are kind of in that clique that says, well, he's with us all the time. He didn't say nothing about you. So you get some of them that actually will pull shit that actually presume that they can get away with it by they figure that all the rest of these people in the crowd will say, oh, we're your buddies, we'll stand by you. But sometimes that does happen, and it will happen if you react in a way like, if you react in a, what the fuck is your problem attitude. You gotta play it cool. And do them a favor by not looking at the rest of the crowd and rolling your eyes. You got to be like a, huh? What? Yeah, I mean, you got to go like a, huh? What do you mean? But if you go in certain people's culture, I mean, people that are the same color as you will do this. People of opposite color in a crowd where you're a newer, and if you don't have enough, if you didn't establish yourself socially in a good way, that they can get away with this. Thank goodness a lot of people have their own minds, but in a certain situation, you know, like if you react a certain way, it triggers them to react, and that's what people want. You get what I'm saying?